Hey guys, Matt Henderson here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of the Galactic Defender Buzz Lightyear. This Buzz Lightyear is made in 2003 by Hasbro, and typically for Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, it's kind of hard to review them because they're all very similar, except they, in some cases, look different, and they have different accessories. So I'm going to start this video by talking about what sets this Buzz apart from the other ones. So first I'm going to talk about the look of this Buzz. This Buzz has a really unique color combo. He has this kind of metallic blue color, which looks really nice. And he has some matte black, which is also really nice looking. And then he has, it's a lime green, and it's slightly different from the regular Buzz lime green. And it's also in different spots. So I kind of like the color combo on this Buzz. It looks quite nice. And now I'm going to talk about his accessories. Now, before I talk about that, I'm actually going to say this. This Buzz Lightyear is really hard to get standing. Like, if I just touch it, he's going to fall backwards. So if I do a bunch of jump cuts, you'll know why. But let's take a look at his accessory. So this is his replacement for wings. This is his attack pack. His attack pack is a really cool accessory. Basically what it does normally is that you push this button and a missile would fly out. Now sadly I don't have the missile. The missiles on these Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, for the ones that do have them, they're typically very hard to find. But just by looking at it, you can pretty much know what it does. It just push the button and pops out. So yeah, pretty decent accessory. Also something that I kind of like is that it has a copyright date. As a Buzz Lightyear collector, just having a copyright date helps so much, because so many Buzz Lightyears, we don't know exactly when they came out. So having the copyright date on the mold itself is really nice. Although technically speaking, all Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, they will say 2001 right here. But because the attack pack says 2003, we know that that's when this Buzz came out, or around that same time. And also, speaking of the attack pack, there's actually a weird Buzz Lightyear release by Hasbro where they included an attack pack as like an extra accessory. I'll have to show a picture of it. But that figure actually has an alien, which is also from another Hasbro Buzz, so it's kind of cool that exists. But anyway, that's basically all I have to say about the attack pack. I'll go ahead and show you the next accessory that he comes with. So the next accessory that he comes with is his targeting visor. Now, truth be told, I bought this Buzz Lightyear without the targeting visor. I actually have two of these. This one I got around a year ago. This one is super yellowed on the back. I didn't specifically buy this one. It came in an auction lot. It came in the same auction lot as the Walking and Talking Buzz remote, so that's why I have it. But this one came with the targeting visor, so that was really nice. So thankfully I can show you what it looks like. The targeting visor attaches to the outer pegs of his helmets, and you can move it up and down. And the targeting visor, it's a cool accessory. I like the idea of it, but I think in execution it's not my favorite. So my first problem with it is that the targeting reticule and also this little part in the middle, they don't really line up with his eyes. Because you can tell he's kind of looking over them. Doesn't look all that great. And if you lift it up, now it just kind of looks weird. So they kind of messed up that design-wise. But the bigger problem for me is that, as you can see, it rubs up against his helmet. And this is a problem because, I don't know if you can see this, it creates wear marks on his helmet. Now, a lot of Buzz Lightyears do have wear marks on their helmets, obviously because, you know, it's a clear plastic piece and it's easy to get scratched. But usually the wear marks from the helmets are on the back. On a lot of Buzz Lightyears, especially Thinkway Buzz Lightyears, whenever you move the helmet back, it rubs up against it, and so it creates these wear marks. But because it's on the back, it doesn't look too bad, but whenever it's on the front, it's very noticeable. And so if you have this Buzz, especially if it's a brand new one, I probably wouldn't recommend using the visor all too much, and I especially wouldn't recommend moving it up and down. I'd probably just recommend using it as a display piece only. Don't actually move it. Unless, of course, your helmet's already scratched like this one. So it really doesn't matter for this one. But it's certainly something you need to be aware of if you own this Buzz. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about his posability. So his head can move left and right. It can move about halfway around. So that's pretty nice. His arm movement is actually quite nice. His arms go down very far, which means his arms are probably the lowest, like in terms of like arm posability for Buzz Lightyears. They move down probably the lowest on these Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, which is really nice. But yeah, they move up and down the shoulder. At the elbow, they can move in and out. His hands rotate. His fingers, they're all one piece, and they can be moved in and out. His arm can also rotate about halfway around on the laser arm. On the other arm, it can rotate free. And then his waist, I forgot to talk about this earlier, but you see these little dots right here? If you see my Battle Buzz Lightyear video, you know what these are. These are actually where infrared sensors would go. On certain Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, they have little infrared sensors to where they can basically detect if there's another Hasbro figure. So for the Battle Buzz, if you pair it up with the squad leader Woody, they can basically talk to each other. But on this Buzz, these are basically fake, so he can't actually do that. But they left that, they didn't like change the mold to get rid of this. They just kind of filled it in with like fake sensors. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, his waist can rotate 360. And his legs can swing outwards. Then his knees, they can actually bend really far and are ratcheted. Unfortunately, his leg joints are super loose, so getting him to stand is a nightmare. His ankles can move quite a bit too. So the posability is decent, but they definitely could have polished it up a little bit. Alright, so now I'll show you his phrases. Unlike the Battle Buzz Lightyear, his phrases are all in sequence and they're not randomized, so this will be much easier to show off.
I am Buzz Lightyear, and adventure is my middle name. How dare you open a Space Buzz helmet on an uncharted planet? This is an intergalactic emergency. I need to access my attack pack. Now that's an impressive attack pack. Targeting visor, check. I have Surge in my sights. He'll never see this coming.
So the phrases are pretty good. I like that they reference his accessories. But at the same time, if you're missing the accessories, the phrases are kind of like, I guess they're kind of ironic because he won't have his accessories. In fact, there's actually another Hasbro Buzz where he references the fact that he has a long wingspan, but if you're missing the wings, the phrase kind of comes off as ironic. But yeah, so the phrases are pretty good. I'll show you his laser now. His laser actually has 6 different features. I'll go ahead and show that off. It has 3 different sounds. And then for each sound, he has a version where he basically says firing laser, and then he fires the laser. So I'll show you what that's like.
Firing laser. Firing laser. Firing laser.
And then another thing you can do with the laser is you can actually spam the laser button, which I personally find very fun. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about this Buzz. Overall, I think it's a really good Buzz. I like his accessories, and I like the way he looks, and I really like his laser sound. And overall, it's definitely a good Buzz. I think when it comes to Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, though, I think this one is kind of in the middle. I like that he has some sort of replacement for his wings, because on many of the Hasbro Buzz Lightyears, they don't have any kind of wing replacements. So I do like that, but his visor, I'm not really the biggest fan of. And then, yeah, he's not really, I don't know, he doesn't do much, but I think for what he is, he's pretty good. So I probably would recommend him if you can find him with the attack pack, but if you can't, then I definitely won't recommend him. Unless, of course, you like blue Buzz Lightyears, which I do. I love blue Buzz Lightyears. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.